Shalom, shalom. Before I get started, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Kakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Barakatham. To you hopeful elect out there, all right, just through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Lord willing, back with another video to Abaratazah, uplift, to, whomever this may concern, all right, and I want to say Salakia, because I got a real bad case of the runny nose, so, this demon, all right, has been messing with me all day, so Salakia for that, all right. But nevertheless, again, just through the spirit, because the show must go on, regardless of how we feel or whatever the case may be. The show must go on, all right? So, this is all a part of the condition of the battle, So with that being said, again, just through the spirit, I wanted to do a video. This is something that's been on my spirit, all right? Because not this past Saturday. What's today? Today is January 30th. All right, 2023. And we just had this past camp. Just today's Monday. Monday, January 30th. We just had the camp. This past Saturday. All right. The other day. But not only that. Because this topic was, this was brought up the past Saturday, all right. Again, not this last Saturday that I passed, but the Saturday before that, all right. And the topic was, touched on. It was breezed on again this past Saturday, all right. So 2 Saturdays in a row, at the camp, brothers. We briefly real briefly, we touched on dealing with Uriah the Hittite. All right. Like I said, the other Saturday, man, it sparked, it sparked something in me, in my spirit, and I've been pondering on it ever since. And the fact that we touched on it again this past Saturday, just the other day at the camp, it was, it was kind of further confirmation that, to go ahead and say a few words on this, dealing with, again, Uriah the Hittite, and just the mindset that we got to be in, all right, because when you go into Uriah the Hittite, man, his mindset when it came to fulfilling his purpose, serving his purpose, all right, his dedication to the king, all right, which at that time was King David, which that's the king under the King of Kings, all right, being Yahushai, all right, again, because Yahushai, again, man, because when it comes to the knowledge, the wisdom, understanding, it's infinite, all right? It's never going to run out. It's never going to be a dull moment, all right? But as far as what we need pertaining to salvation, the Lord left us everything that we needed pertaining to salvation to make it, to make it out of here, man. All right, because there's a lot of information. There's prophets that we don't know about. There's a lot of information that we're not privy to. All right, and Lord willing, hey, we're going to get access to that in due time, in due season. But as of right now, again, all we need is the knowledge, wisdom, understanding on pertaining to salvation, on what we need to get out of here, man. And with all that being said, because again, from Genesis to what was from what was left here with us, all right, concerning the Bible from Genesis to the book of Revelation. All right. That's all the information that we need pertaining to salvation. All right. And within these books, which includes the Apocrypha, all right, the Apocrypha, there's all, it's nothing but bits of pieces and of information that we can obtain for ourselves, because we're always going to be a work in progress. We're always going to be under construction until Yahushua comes and delivers us. All right. This is always going to be just a non-stop thing of evolving, growing, developing until Yahushua comes. So again, from the book of Genesis to Revelation, man, there's always things that we can learn from, no matter how many times we've read these different stories, read these different accounts, I should say, because these aren't, when it comes to the Bible, this isn't some fairy tale thing, These are our actual records, all right? This is our history, all right? Pertaining to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians. This is our history. These are our records, all right? So this, again, these are just some fairy tale stories, you see? And that's, again, Slakia, because I have a real bad runny nose, and, but again, nevertheless, the show must go on, regardless of how we feel, all right? The show must go on, so Salakia. But contained within our records, all right, our history, all right, you have one of many, 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 many examples pertaining to, the things that we could just learn from, all right, and one of those many examples being Uriah the Hittite. And again, we touched on this the other week at the camp, all right, but the fact that we touched on this just the other day, this past camp, 2 weeks in a row, just for me personally, it was a further confirmation that to, go ahead and speak on this real quick. And, this is, for the most part, it'll probably be like a righteous rant, all right. But nevertheless, dealing with Uriah the Hittite, all right? Uriah the Hittite. And again, his attitude towards his purpose, his dedication to the mission, all right? Which that's how we ought to be, all right? Because again, Uriah the Hittite at that, during his time, his purpose was solely fixed on serving the king, which again at that time, being King David, all right, and that's our attitude. That's how our attitude should be, all right. Like Yahushua often talked about when he was on the scene, man, as Yahushua, because he didn't come to do his will. He often spoke about doing his Father's will, man. Like when when he became a young man, all right. You read the accounts about Yahushua and being in the temple, basically, to roughly paraphrase how he was speaking to doctors concerning the law and things of that nature. All right, people that were supposed to be so-called well-versed in, with the scriptures and stuff like that. And Yahushua left them looking confounded, And by the time that Joseph and Mary found out that, he wasn't with them, they were all, bugging out, panicking, all right? Well, what did Yahushua tell his mother? Don't you know that I be about my Father's business? And again, that's the whole point. We're about our Father's business. All right. Everything else that we seek for and everything that we desire is going to come in its due time. All right. As a matter of fact, let me, before I ramble too much, I'm going to get this real quick. Lord willing. I only have, two precepts in mind, and it's contained within the same chapter. But as usual, whatever the Spirit, the Spirit is going to do what the Spirit does, right? So whatever other precepts that the Spirit wants to bring out, right? Bear with me real quick. Because again, in due time, all right, which this is another thing that's been on my spirit, man, because, hey, when it comes to the men of the Lord, all right, hopeful elect brothers, man, the hopeful elect men, hey, our time is coming, man. Lord, when we be of that number, our time is coming. Because people as of right now, they look at us and they shrug us off. You might try to holler at a chick and she whatever the case may be, man. But in due time, hey, in due time, because like I said, as of right now, people don't look at us. People they turn a side eye to us. They whatever. People ignore us, whatever the case may be. But the time is going to come when we are going to miss that. All right, and again, Lord willing, we're a part of that number, because the time is going to come when, because it's just like with the celebrities. A lot of times when the paparazzi, when they come to a so-called celebrity, all right, and they try to duck off and hide, and they don't, they want their privacy. That's going to be us. Lord willing, we're of that number in the very near future. All right, if we're of that number, man. Like I said, right now, people, they don't, they see us week in and week out. They see the videos. They, these people, they know who we are. All right, but they turn a side eye to us, and the time is going to come where we're going to miss that. Because again, the time is going to come when we're not going to get privacy, man. People are going to be running up, and people are going to be grabbing on us, and looking, because in that time, hey, just to be frank with it, man, we are going to be those beacons of light. All right, we're going to be those beacons of light. When Yahweh Bashim Shai, when he turns the lights off in this place, all right, when he unplugs this system, and when he just shuts this thing down, man, hey, and when things are literally in complete darkness, gross darkness, hey, we are going to be those beacons of light. And people are going to be running to us, and like I said, what we got now, what we have to suffer now, we're going to miss this, man. Because if people took this serious now, then hey, everyone, every weekend and week out, when brothers go to the camps, all right, every weekend and week out, man, there will be loads and loads of people. There will be crowds of people. There will be thousands of people at the camps, but it's not. You see, but again, the time is going to come when, hey, we are going to miss this silence. All right, because hey, this is the greatest underdog story ever told. This is the greatest underdog story ever told, man. And the Lord's going to make it known in that day that, yeah, even though people scoff, they mock, scorn, whatever the case may be, the Lord's going to make it known that, yeah, those men had it the whole time. These were the men that I was dealing with the whole time, man. So, again, the time is going to come where we're going to miss the silence, But nevertheless, I'm going to get this real quick in Galatians 6 and 9. It says, let us not be weary in well-doing. For in due season, we shall reap if we faint not. So you see, again, the time is going to come. All right. Because I'll just say this, man. I'm speaking for myself, but I'm sure I'm speaking for brothers as well, man. At the end of the day, all it comes down to is respect. All we want is respect. All brothers want is respect, to be treated with respect. Because brothers, for the most part, we live simple lives, man. We're not asked to. We don't ask to be put on pedestals, and none of that, man. We just want to be treated with respect. All right. And as you know, asking for that in this type of society, even when it comes to mothers, fathers, wives, children, it's like kryptonite to these people, to our own people, man. You know, it's like kryptonite, right? Because all brothers want is respect, man. But hey, you know, like I said, we don't get it now, but time is gonna come. Our time is coming, in due time, in due season. You know, in due season. All right. But nevertheless, man, getting into this, man, because you know we just gotta hold on just a little longer, man. Just a little longer. All right. We'll go ahead and get into this, man. Because again, if we don't get weary in well doing, if we don't get, you know, Lord willing, man, we don't fall out. The Lord doesn't put the spirit on us to where we become reprobates. We don't fall out. All right. We stay dedicated to the cause. We stay focused on the mission. All right. You know, then hey, the Lord, hey, he's got us, man. He's got our back. All right. And again, just through the spirit, just want to touch on one of many examples dealing with that. Dealing with Uriah the Hittite, right? One of King David's mighty men, right? So I'm going to go to 2 Samuel chapter 11 in verse. Now this was when, to show you how dedicated, motivated, how loyal, you know, when it comes to Uriah the Hittite, the characteristics of Uriah the Hittite, how dedicated he was to the cause. All right, because this was when King David, man, he committed the treasonous act of adultery. All right, and not only that, he tried to hide the fact, you know, because not only did he committed adultery with another man's wife, but he ended up getting a woman pregnant. All right, he got another woman pregnant, another wife pregnant. All right, another woman pregnant that belonged to another wife, that belonged to another man, and he tried to hide the fact. All right, that, you know, because according to the law, you know, a woman, she can only get with another man if her current husband ends up perishing, you know, ends up going, you know, so-called dying. That's the only time she's able to you know, get another husband. You know, so King David, he knew this, obviously. All right, he knew this, and again, he ended up committing adultery with another man's woman, another man's wife, and he tried to hide the fact and end up getting them, you know, getting the husband, you know, put to death. You know, but again, just to show the point that Uriah the Hittite, because that's who King David, that's who he committed the adultery with. He committed the adultery with Bathsheba, which was Uriah's wife, right? And again, you know, just through the spirit, I want to touch on how loyal and dedicated to the cause that Uriah was, right? So when you go to 2 Samuel chapter 11, and again, Salakia for the allergies, man. You know, this is why we need the new bodies, man, because, you know, these very bodies that we are in, man, these chains of darkness are working against us, you know, and I deal with very bad allergies, so Salakia. But 2 Samuel 11. Second Samuel 11, verse 6. And David sent to Joab, saying, send me Uriah the Hittite. And Joab sent Uriah to David. Because again, King David, he committed this treasonous act. All right. And on another note, this is why. Because just this alone, the fact that King David committed this act, he was supposed to be put to death according to the law. But to show us that the Most High supersedes the law, all right, that's why the scriptures talk about the sure mercies of King David. Because King David, just off this alone, was supposed to be put to death. He's supposed to be, he's supposed to be put to death. But the Lord showed him mercy, right? Because not only did he do this, commit adultery, again, he set it up to where he tried to hide the fact that, he tried to hide the fact. And he tried to set it up to where the husband of the wife that he committed adultery with would be killed, would be murdered. And there is a difference between killing and murdering. All right. So what King David did, he tried to hide the fact. All right. So this is after the fact that he committed adultery with another man's wife. So again, 2 Samuel 11:7. And when Uriah was come unto him, David commanded of him how Joab did, and how the people did, and how the war prospered. And David said to Uriah, go down to thy house and wash thy feet. And Uriah departed out of the king's house, and there followed him a mess of meat from the king. But Uriah slept at the door of the king's house with all the servants of his lord, and went not down to his house. And you see, man, another thing I was just meditating on while just thinking about this topic, because we got to be like dogs for Yahweh Bashim Shah, man. We got to be like dogs for Yahweh Shah, man. And I noticed that when, against my wishes, all right, I'll say it, against what I wanted, because, just within my household, everyone wanted a dog. I didn't want a dog, man, but it's crazy how the Spirit works things out, because, we got the damn dog, and, the dog ends up only listening to me out of all people. The dog only ends up listening to me, and it's just that bond, that connection, right away. Like I said, I didn't want the dog, but everyone else, they wanted the dog, they got the dog, whatever. One thing I noticed about the master and the dog, right, is the dog knows its place. The dog knows its role. All right, the dog knows it's in unison, man. Between the master and the dog, man, there's a unison, man. There's a sense of harmony. All right, I put it like this: you could walk in a straight line. All right, you could walk in a straight line, and the dog, it'll as you're walking in a straight line, the dog, it'll walk right between your legs in unison. All right, in unison. You don't have to, it's not tripping on your feet, or you're not tripping over the dog or anything like that. It's just a beautiful connection. It's a beautiful unison. It's like you and the animals is one. Telekinesis almost, man. And I've had plenty of pets and animals, in my lifetime, but just being the spiritual man that I am now, the spiritual man that I am today, I noticed that, like I don't have to, kick the dog and move it out my way. No, the dog, it automatically knows, man. If he sees me coming, to get the hell out the way. It's like there's just some spiritual connection, oftentimes between humans and animals. It just knows to get the hell out the way. Like I said, you'll be so in tune, so on point, that you can walk in a straight line. And a dog, it won't, it'll just walk right in between your legs, man. That's just something I noticed in the spirit, man. And that's how we got to be with Yahweh Shai, man. Yahweh Shai. We just got to be in unit. We just have to learn to become one. Just play your part. Play your part. Play our roles, man. That's it. The scriptures talk about the simplicity in Yahweh Bashemel Shai, man. It's simple. Play your role. Learn where you fit in. You see? Because again, we all live to serve the King. So just, figure out where you fit in and play your role, play your part. It's that simple. A lot of Jake, man, they make this. I always say this, man. Jake treats this like it's the Lord is asking us, the Heavenly Father is asking us to juggle with one arm tied behind our back, blindfolded, while standing on a ball with with one leg, man, with one arm tied behind our back. No, man, this is simple. It's not hard. It's simple. It's simple. But not to veer too much. Going back to it in 2 Samuel 11, in verse 9, it says, "But Uriah slept at the door of the king's house with all the servants of his lord, and went not down to his house. And when they had told David, saying, Uriah went not down into his house, David said unto Uriah, Camest thou not from thy journey? Why then didst thou not go down into thy house?" Because again, you got to understand, when it came to the commandment of the king, that was it. All right, if you disobeyed the commandment of the king, you could be put to death. That was a treasonous act. That was treason, man. You could be put to death for that, man. But again, Uriah was so focused. He was so on point. He was just so dedicated to the mission. Hey, man, it's beautiful because certain orders King David came down with. Hey, Uriah was like, nah, man. Respectfully speaking, nah. Because again, granted speaking, King David, he committed this treasonous act. He himself was supposed to be put to death, but another topic for another time. He was trying to hide the fact of what he did. All right, so he gave out these decrees, and again, Uriah, he was just so focused on the mission, dedicated to his cause. He's like, no, I'm not, because King David told him. Because again, King David, he slept with Uriah's wife. All right, that's a treasonous act. He slept with Uriah's wife, and to hide he got her pregnant. So to hide the fact, King David basically he was he gave commandment for King David gave commandment to Uriah to go down and basically just go pop your woman and just chill. But King David, Uriah was like, nah, man, because again, Uriah, he was so focused on the mission, he was so dedicated to his cause. He's like, nah, fuck that, man. This is where I need to be. This is because what Jake fails to realize is, and we touched on this in this past Sunday, man. This Sunday's past lesson, man. Hey, Jake, they don't understand what they're really a part of, man. This is a war. We are at a spiritual warfare, man. This is a war. And there's nothing wrong with having, wives and there's nothing wrong with having all that. But as long as it doesn't take your focus off the mission, then hey, kudos to you, man. But again, King David was constantly insisting on, Uriah, hey, go be with your woman. And, but, Uriah was like, nah, I need to be here. This is where I need to be at. Because all that extra stuff, man, it could wait. Like I just read, hey, Uriah, he slept at the doors of King David. He slept at his door, man. Uriah slept at King David's doorstep, man. That's dedication. Listen, man, that's some dedication for you, man. Right? Well, when you read verse 10, it says that when they had told David, saying, Uriah went not down unto his house, David said unto Uriah, Camest thou not from thy journey? Why then didst thou not go down unto thine house? And Uriah said unto David, The ark and Israel and Judah abide in tents, and my lord Joab. You see, Uriah the Hittite, he displayed a great humility. All right, you know, again, great dedication, great faithfulness to the cause. You know, it said that my servants of my Lord, talking about King David, you know, are encamped in the open fields. Shall I then go into mine house to eat and to drink, and to lie with my wife? As thou livest, and as thy soul liveth, I will not do this thing. So again, you got to remember, because to to disobey a direct order from the king, that was you could be put to death for that, right? But Uriah, again, he was given commandment to, hey, go to the crib, man, take care of your woman, and do what you gotta do. Uriah was like, nah, man, respectfully speaking, all right, you know, that could wait, you know, that could wait, because again, to put it in modern terms, hey, we are at war, all right, we are at war. The hell with all this extra, you know, all the gimmick, the hell with all that, man. We are at war right now, man. And we are dedicated to our purpose, to our cause, which is to serve Yahweh Shema Shai. And we all have our different measure, according to the Spirit, you know, whatever it is, we all have our measure. But, hey, you know, the hell with all that, man. So, again, Uriah, he respectfully refused to disobey the king's order, man. And not only that, listen, to show you how loyal, how dedicated Uriah was to the cause, right? Reading on in verse 12, it said, and David said to Uriah, tarry here today also, and tomorrow I will let thee depart. So Uriah abode in Jerusalem that day and the morrow. And when David called him, he did eat and drink before him, and he made him drunk. So listen, King David, he because again, he was trying to hide the fact of what he did, and he was really insistent. So just another characteristic of Uriah was his integrity. All right, because again, King David, he got him drunk to the King David got him drunk, right? But when you read on, it says, or I'll read it again, verse 13. And when David had called him, he did eat and drink before him, and he made him drunk. And that even he went out to lie on his bed with the servants of his Lord, but went not down to his house. So you see, show you how, again, dedicated Uriah was to the cause. Because King David got him drunk, but he didn't go to the crib to pop his woman. No, he was, hey, you know, that's a beautiful thing, man. Again, that's what I said earlier. From Genesis to Revelation, man, hey, all the things that we need pertaining to salvation, and because we are all under construction. There's, you know, pertaining within these scriptures, man, there's always things that we can learn from, you know, man. It may not necessarily be from the great men, the top men being Yahushua, and the great men under him being King David, Samuel, so on and so forth. But you got men like this, Uriah, displaying great integrity. All right, you know, great dedication to the cause, right? Because again, King David, he got this man drunk, but he still refused to go down to pop his woman, and you know, he still, hey. You know, verse 14, and it came to pass in the morning that David wrote a letter to Joab and sent it by the hand of Uriah. So here it is again, to show you how loyal, dedicated to the cause Uriah the Hittite was, man. All right. David wrote this letter. All right. And he sent it by the hand of Uriah to be sent to Joab. All right, and check this out. It says, and he wrote in the letter saying, set ye Uriah in the forefront of the hottest battle, and retire ye from him, that he may be smitten and die. And it came to pass. So King David is telling Joab in his letter to set it up to where Uriah the Hittite, all right. Again, this is the same letter that King David, by the hand of Uriah, is sending to Joab. All right, telling Joab to send Uriah in the battle so that he set him in the forefront of the battle so that he could die. Right? It says, and it came to pass when Joab observed the city that he assigned Uriah into a place where he knew the valiant men were. And the men of the city went out and fought with Joab, and there fell some of the people of the service of Joab and Salakah. And there fell some of the people of the service of David, and Uriah the Hittite died also. So the point being, again, to show you the loyalty, the dedication, all right, of Uriah. Again, this was a letter that was supposed to be, this was a letter that was sent from King David, the king himself, to Joab by Uriah. All right. From King David telling Joab to send Uriah, set it up to where Uriah would get killed in a battle. But to show you how loyal to show you how loyal Uriah was, he didn't open the letter. He didn't read the letter. At least there's no accounts in the scriptures that show you, that tell us that Uriah read the letter. All right, because again, Uriah, he was so dedicated to the cause. He was so loyal to the king. All right, he was so focused on the mission at hand. You know, you see that the very letter that he was delivering, that would be his demise. He was so loyal to the king. Fuck that, man. Hey, whatever the king wants. Hey, it's that's how we gotta be, man. We gotta be for the king, man. In unison, with one. We gotta serve our purpose, man. We're talking about the king, man. We want to serve the king. The hell with all this other shit, man. Fuck all that, man. We're about our father's business, like Yahweh Shai said. We're about our father's business, man. Fuck all this other shit, man. We want to serve the king. And even, because that's another example, show you that, even if it costs us our life, so be it. Fuck it. All right? We want to serve the king. All right? We are about our father's business, man. So whatever it be, so be it. And that was the attitude I can humbly and faithfully say was the attitude of Uriah the Hittite. Hey, man, fuck all this other shit, man. I'm about the king's business, man. Well, I just want to serve my king. And that's how we got to be in the spirit, man. Fuck all this other shit. I just want to serve the king. That's how we got to be in the spirit, man. Fuck all this other shit. Fuck this shit. Fuck this place. Fuck these people, man. I just want to serve the king. Because, again, everything that we so-called gain on the side, everything we so-called lose on the side, we're going to get it back. So fuck it. I just want to serve the king. That should be our attitude. We just want to serve the king. I just want to serve the king. We just want to serve the king. That's it. And that was the attitude of Uriah the Hittite, man. He was dedicated to the mission. He was dedicated to the purpose, man. Serving the king. That's how we gotta be. So hey, man. Fuck this shit, man. Just want to serve the king, man. Just want to serve the king. And hey, it's not gonna be in vain. It's not gonna be in vain, man. Hey, the Lord's got our back. Because, hey, one thing I meditate on all the time. I meditate on this all the time. Hey, the Lord, man, he's not going to all this is not going to be for nothing, man. A lot of these people, pretty much everyone that's outside of the elect, they look at what we do. That this includes our family, friends, loved ones, whatever. They see what we do, man, and it's just and so to say, we touched on this in this past Saturday, this past camp, because people they think our loved ones, friends, whatever, they think we're just doing this for just a hobby. Like some of us, we like to play basketball, some of us we like to work out, whatever. Those are all hobbies. A lot of people, they think this is just a hobby. No, man. This is deadly serious. Again, we're We are in servitude to the king. We're performing a service for the king. You know? And people are going to find out why we took this so serious. People are going to find that out. Why we took this, why we forsook everything that we forsook to do this, man. For this, in servitude to the king. People are going to find it out. You know, and I just humbly speaking, I believe, like, even when it comes to those of us, Lord willing, we are of that number, man. When it comes down to it, because I often think, man, it's like, yeah, we know, we have a sense of an understanding of what we're involved in, but like I said, just humbly speaking, as a man, I don't think we really fully understand what we're involved in. You know, yeah, we have a certain fear, but we don't have 100% fear. You know, we really don't understand what we're, you know, but it's gonna show. It's gonna show. You know, it's gonna show in due time. It's gonna show, like, damn, you know, people. It might even surprise us, like, why we took this, why the Lord had a certain spirit on us, and why we took this so serious. People are gonna know and see why we took this so serious. Because again, it's deadly serious. It's exactly that, man. It's deadly serious, and people are gonna understand that. People are going to come to understand why we took this so serious, because it literally is a matter of life and death. It's a matter of life and death, man. And these people, they don't understand that, but they will. You know, they will. You know, and I think it'll be complete when, like I said, when it's all said and done. And hey, you know, 2 Ezra 16, man, then it shall be made known who the Lord was dealing with. To roughly paraphrase, it's gonna be made known. Yeah, you know, why the Lord had it on us to where we took this serious. Because this is a sacrifice at the end of the day. You know, again, a lot of brothers deal with a lot of things, and you know, brothers gave up a lot to do this, man. Brothers really gave up a lot to do this. And to an extent, you know, it's like, because, you know, we all get those thoughts every now and then. Why am I still doing this? You know, it's because, you know, we don't get the immediate reward. We don't get the tangible rewards or anything like that on the side, man. We don't get that on the side. But hey, as I read earlier, the Spirit had me bring it out to where, hey, in due time, in due season, we're going to understand why the Lord had to where we took this so serious. Because again, you know, we all get those thoughts like, why am I doing this? Or, you know, it's just like, you know, it gets to that point. Sometimes it's like, every now and then, it's like, well, why am I doing this? We don't get no tangible rewards. Here it is, the wicked, they're prospering. They're, you know, they're living it up. It's like, man, I ain't getting nothing for this. But in due time, hey, we're going to get ours, Lord willing. Lord willing, we're a part of that number. We're going to get ours, man. You know? But hey, the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. Lord willing, this was edifying. Once again, giving all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh Shema Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Yahweh Shema Shai Barakatham. To you, hopeful elect. Lord willing, until next time, Shalom.